Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with BNEWS producer Sydney Bowles, BNEWS reporters John Vias and Robert Paris, Peter Brown with the weather, Gretchen Carey with the community calendar, Aidan Hayes with sports, and Marge Yetman with senior news. And Robert Paris is our director today. Thank you for joining us. A plan for climate change sustainability roadmap for the town of Burlington got one step closer to a reality this week as the Select Board voted to submit a letter of support for a grant to support the project. Burlington has been part of the Massachusetts Municipal Vulnerability Preparedness, or MVP program, for about 4 years and has already received a grant to identify priority areas for future work. The MVP Action Grant would cover most of the cost of developing the plan, a document that would guide development as such things like flooding and heat islands get worse due to climate change. About 43% of Burlington residents said they rarely bike or walk to get around town, but 45% said they would bike around town if they could, and the biggest barrier to biking is a lack of infrastructure. Those are the findings of a survey conducted in March by a team of Northeastern University grad students who spent their capstone semester studying possible bike paths in the town. The first proposal was a Vinebrook River Walk, which would stretch through Burlington's wetlands before crossing I-95, either on a raised bridge or a tunnel underneath the highway. The second idea would be to create bike paths along existing roads so bikers could have an easier time getting between parts of town. The Select Board heard the proposals earlier this week and seemed largely in favor, though they worried about the cost and logistics of a bridge over or under I-95. Burlington Economic Development Director Melissa Tintakalis, who worked with the students, had this to say.
You know, a lot of people will say this is big, ambitious, but you got to dream big, and they're kind of kicking us off to do so. So working with conservation and planning, we're looking to move forward some grant work on this and get more feasibility done, and this will be the foundation to that.
The Select Board postponed a hearing until June about whether to issue a letter of support regarding a potential housing development in Burlington. The project, dubbed Windview Heights 2, would be located at 35 Mountain Road and would include 24 units of housing for people over the age of 55. 6 of those units would be designated as affordable housing. The plan has been in the works since 2019, but has faced opposition from the public, and the Select Board previously voted against the project in a 2-1-1 vote. 2 votes aren't enough to pass. But because one board member was absent for the vote, supporters of the project are asking for another shot. Select Board Chair Mike Runyon said read a prepared statement about why the board was postponing the public hearing.
The bylaw is very rigid. It dictates very rigid public hearing requirements that no other board or commission is subject to. Included is language that prevents the Board of Selectmen from taking a vote at the conclusion of any public hearing, or of this public hearing, for a period of at least 3 days. This bylaw seems intent on delaying and obstructing affordable housing opportunities for Burlington residents.
Burlington Town Administrator Paul Sagarino dropped by the BCAT studios this week for his regular Town Administrator update. On the agenda this time, the possibility of a permanent hybrid meetings, bird netting for the fire department, and the challenges with filling open firefighter positions in the town. Burlington currently has 4 open jobs at the fire department, and with upcoming retirements, there could be as many as 10 openings by next year. Sagarino said he's working with Fire Chief Andy Conity to come up with creative solutions.
Working on a couple of different ideas. You know, one of the things we thought about is, can we hire EMTs and send them to paramedic school? I know the chief has some ideas about possibly, you know, trying to do a program with our high school students here. So if there are any students that have an interest in being a firefighter paramedic, we can sort of grab them early and come up with a way to get them to paramedic school. So we're considering a variety of different techniques, but it's not just Burlington that's experiencing this. Is a statewide problem, unfortunately.
You can see the full interview on BCAT's website by going to bcattv.org and navigating to special features. The Burlington Police Department will soon have a new patrolman on the force. John Morris of Stamford, Connecticut, was appointed to the position by the Select Board earlier this week. Morris is set to graduate from the Merrimack Police Academy on May 11. Morris has a bachelor degree in criminal justice and psychology from Marist College in New York and interned for the Center for the Prevention of Child Abuse in Poughkeepsie, New York. He is currently completing a master's degree in criminal psychology and is expected to graduate cum laude in July. He is scheduled to begin work on May 15th. At the request of Burlington Youth and Family Services, Burlington Common will be lit up green in recognition of Child Mental Health Awareness Week, the first week in May. This will be the third year that Burlington acknowledges the week. If you or a child in your life are experiencing a mental health emergency, you can dial the National Suicide Prevention Hotline at 988. Local resources are available through Youth and Family Services at 781-270-1961. The town of Burlington has received a $30,000 grant to enhance its commercially focused website, bringmetoburlington.com. Enhancements include building out the travel and tourism section of this website and adding information about hotels and things to do. According to Economic Development Director Melissa Tintakalis, the goal is to showcase Burlington as a prime destination in Massachusetts and aid the local hospitality industry as it recovers from the COVID-19 economic downturn. The marathon may be behind us, but the chance to run for cause is still ongoing. Sign-ups are now open for the Leahy Cancer Institute's 5K walk and run this Sunday, June 11. Not this Sunday, on June 11. The opening apparently is this Sunday. Those interested in running or volunteering can go to leahy5k.org. A Marshall Simon school teacher has been nominated for an award. Barbara Sturdivant is one of 2 teachers in Massachusetts nominated for the Patricia Bering Teacher of the Year Award. This is an award offered by the National History Day, a nonprofit group dedicated to the teaching and learning of history. Teachers from 47 National History Day affiliate programs have been nominated for the award. All nominees receive $500, and the winner, announced in June, receives a $10,000 award. The Thespians at Burlington High School are back with the high school musical. This year it's the Addams Family Musical. BCAT reporter John Villa spoke with the cast and crew. Let's have a look.
Creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky. They're that ghoulish, funny family with an affinity for all things macabre, and they're making their way to the Fogelberg stage. The Addams Family, based on the characters created by Charles Addams, is this year's spring musical from the Burlington High School Performing Arts Department.
2021, we did it outside, which brought a whole new load of challenges, just packing everything up, making sure everything was covered and safe for rain if there was any rain, and we had to pull everything back in, build a whole new stage outside. That was definitely difficult. So we're finally back in the auditorium now. We did a show Chicago last year, but we had a limited audience. We're finally back fully to normal with a full house, and it's definitely exciting, definitely getting ready. It's the first time we've had a huge set like we have now in a few years, so I'm really excited for everybody to see it. Yeah, it's just been very nice to be back in the auditorium.
The cast and crew talk about what it takes to step into their roles and the world they want to bring to their audience.
The ambulance has grown up and found love.
A lot of making sure my throat doesn't die because I'm doing a very weird voice for him, and every night before every pre-rehearsal and every, I have to make sure that I'm like, okay, is my voice ready for this, or do I have to tone it down a little bit?
And let us celebrate what it is to be an artist. Come to me, my luscious wife. Oh, she of skin so pale, eyes so black, and dressed like down to Venezuela.
I was psyched when I first found out I got the role. I was hiding in the percussion closet because I didn't want anyone to tell me. So I come out and I'm like, oh my God, I got it. I procrastinated a lot. And because of that, I had to really work a lot. So I worked with my sister. We were every night we're practicing, going over the lines. Hey, Taya, can you help me out? And she's like, yeah, sure, I'll help you out. And so I'm listening to the songs on repeat in school. It's on all the time at home. It's I'm playing games, so I have it on repeat.
So we actually saw another high school perform Addams Family. Me and Ashley went with Julia, who plays Morticia, and we saw them at, I think, Triton Regional, and they did a great job also, so that definitely got us like ready and like excited for our audition.
The Addams Family is a story that embraces all things dark and eerie with a humorous twist.
Even in dark times, finding humor, finding a way through the difficulties, and there's a lot of family dynamics. You see the Addams family dynamic, of course, but you also see the Beinecke family, which is a more quote-unquote normal family that may not be so normal when you look underneath the layers. So I think it's really a nice message to see that every family is different, and we all have our quirks and different oddities, but we come together and remember what's important, and the love and support of family, getting through all the hard times, and a little humor helps too.
So grab a broomstick you can crawl on and make a call on the Addams Family. Running for 5 shows from Friday, April 28th through Sunday, May 7th. For more information on ticket prices and dates, go to burlingtontheater.com. From the Fogelberg Auditorium at Burlington High School, this is John Vias for BNEWS.
If you haven't seen one of their productions, you should give them a try. They are a very accomplished group. In other news, the Burlington Players are putting on a production of Bat Boy, a comedy horror show about a half-boy, half-bat creature discovered in a cave and brought to live with a local family. BCAT reporter Robert Paris has the story.
3 and big. Hold me, Bat Boy. Hold me, Bat Boy. Touch me, Bat Boy. Touch me, Bat Boy.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Bat Boy? The Burlington Players are at it again with another production at the Playhouse. This time, it's Bat Boy, a horror comedy musical story and book by Keith Farley and Brian Fleming. Although the cast were not in costume, they did put on a great practice performance for the crew, including the director, Robert Hallisey.
The production itself it's an exciting musical. It has such a great variety of music to it. There's all different kinds of musical styles represented in it, and some terrific characters. It's set in a place called Hope Falls, West Virginia, a town of just 500 people. And the story is about some kids who are out spelunking in a cave, and they find a creature that's half boy, half bat, thus Bat Boy. And they bring the creature to the local sheriff, who decides that the best place for this Bat Boy would be to take it to the local veterinarian. So the veterinarian's wife decides that she wants to raise this bat child as her own, and give him culture and have him speak English properly and all of that, and learn good manners, so that it'll be presentable to everybody.
I spoke to some of the members of the production team as well as some of the cast.
I'm Edgar, the Bat Boy. Really interesting character, is discovered in a cave in West Virginia and kind of taken in by a family, and kind of dealing with his struggle to fit in and try to become a part of the town. I love everyone in the cast and the crew. It's such a lovely group of people, and it's been so much fun to just work with everybody.
I am the stage manager, which means I play a role not on the front of the stage. I play the role in the backstage. I play the role in the booth. I direct the lights and sounds. I've also been the props person for Bat Boy, creating lots of crafty props that deal with the plot.
I play Rick Taylor, who is the boyfriend to Shelley Parker, who is one of the primary members of the Parker household in this show. I also play Lorraine, who is this rancher's wife, a very fancy woman who's a religious, church-going individual. She's a very fun character to play. And also a couple other smaller bit parts, another rancher, a doctor, a couple scenes. It's a lot of variety.
I'm playing Sheriff Reynolds, and the sheriff is, he's the guy who just wants everybody to stay calm and follow the rules, and it's kind of typecasting.
As opening day approaches, the cast and crew are excited to present this thrilling adventure with action, comedy, and suspense.
We got really, really lucky, and we get some very talented people who can sing, act, and dance, and who are really dedicated to making this show work and to creating a bunch of different characters that really work for them and that really reach out, grab the audience, and bring them into the show.
From the Park Playhouse, I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Weekly.
Burlington's town meeting is coming up on May 8th, and once the meeting is over, the minutes will be stored in the basement of Town Hall in the town archives, along with minutes from meetings going back to the founding of the town. BNews producer Sydney Bowles takes us there to explore some of Burlington's earliest records.
In the basement beneath Town Hall, archivist Dan McCormick is tasked with protecting some of Burlington's earliest records, like the minutes from the first town meeting in 1799.
I know we have, let's see, to choose to see what sum of money that will raise for the Reverend John Merritt's salary for the present year. That's when the Congregational Church was still the official church in Massachusetts, and towns were supporting their ministers through taxation. To see what sums of money the town will raise for schooling the present year and how it should be apportioned. Very important. That's the first article for the first school budget for Burlington.
McCormick says, "We don't have very many records remaining, and the few records we do have are all the more precious because 2 fires destroyed much of our early archives."
The fire that destroyed the town hall took place in 1902. 5 years before that, Sewell House, which was the home of one of Burlington's most prominent families, that also burned. And in those fires and through the course of time, many of our older town records have been destroyed and lost to history.
But in the records that do remain, McCormick says, there are parallels between what matters to us now and what mattered to us more than 200 years ago.
People were concerned about roads. People were concerned about the relationships between citizens, how people were supposed to, work with, relate to each other, how town government was supposed to operate, was it running efficiently, and they're concerned about the same things today. There are some themes in, government, in politics, and in civic life that never seem to change.
Here's hoping they're still worried about roads and school budgets 225 years in the future, too. From the Burlington Archives, I'm Sydney Bowles.
With May almost upon us, let's check in with Council on Aging to see what's on the calendar for seniors in Burlington. COA Director Marge Yetman is here with Senior News.
Hello. May will be another busy month for the Senior Center. On Wednesday, May 10th, we have John Clark returning with the music of World War I. On Wednesday, May 17th, thanks to the Burlington Cultural Council, we have Matt York with songs and stories of Johnny Cash. On Monday, May 8th, we have our musical movie and a snack with Meet Me in St. Louis, which stars Judy Garland and Mary Astor. On Wednesday, May 17th, our pizza and a movie is 80 for Brady with Jane Fonda, Rita Moreno, Sally Field, Lily Tomlin, Harry Hamlin, and of course, Tom Brady. We'll show 80 for Brady for our movie and a snack as well on Monday, May 22nd. Thanks to a Burlington Cultural grant, Tommy Roll will be here on Wednesday, May 24th. Mr. Roll will take us down memory lane with Frank Sinatra, Neil Diamond, Kenny Rogers, Barry Manilow, Elvis Presley, and Perry Como, and many, many others. On Wednesday, May 31st, Barbara LaRue and Jonathan Sachs will guide us for an art walk at the Burlington Sculpture Park. We'll meet outside at the Burlington Sculpture Park. Lace up your sneakers. The walking group is in full walk mode. Meet at the Burlington High School track on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 a.m. Walk around once or walk for the full hour. It's a nice way to safely walk with other people around, especially if you're rehabbing and aren't comfortable walking alone. The Walk Massachusetts Challenge is back and better than ever. Your participation helps your local Council on Aging win money for fitness programs and gives you the chance to win one of several prizes. The challenge runs May 1 to October 31st, 2023. During this time, you will have chances to be entered into a drawing to win a $50 Visa card, $25 Amazon card, or a $10 Dunkin' gift card. The more you walk, the more chances you have to win. Reach each milestone and receive a total of 4 entries. By completing the challenge, your local Council on Aging and Senior Center gets a raffle entry to win up to $1,000 for fitness programming. Go to www.walkmachallenge.com for more information or to sign up. The 4th Ave Affordables Lottery will open for applications from June 1st through July 30th, with the lottery being held a few days later. If you have already put your name in for the lottery, you should start getting updates if you haven't already. If you haven't signed up for updates but would like to, go to www.4thaveaffordables.com. The Board of Health is having their annual health fair on Saturday, May 20th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Come see what's happening in Burlington and come by the COA table and say hi. That's all for now. I hope to see you at the Senior Center.
One more thing, on May 4th, the Council on Aging is hosting an in-person focus group to discuss how seniors would like to receive communications from the town. If you're interested, you can sign up by emailing Marge Yetman at myetman@burlington.org or in person at the Council on Aging. April showers look like they might turn into May showers too. Let's turn to Peter Brown with the weather, and be sure to stay tuned for your community calendar with Gretchen Carey.
Well, hello everyone, this is Peter Brown. Look at your weather for the next 7 days. Here we are heading into the start of May, the final month of meteorological spring. I know it's hard to believe we are actually only 4 weeks away from the beginning of meteorological summer, so hard to believe that we are that far through the year. Now, starting on our period on Friday, our temperatures at this time of the year should be in the mid to upper 60s. That's also true as we round out the period getting in towards May 4th at the end of next week. But we're going to be seeing our temperatures on Friday a little bit cooler than that. Temperatures only in the low 60s, but Friday I think is going to be by far the best day out of the next 7 days. It's going to be actually the warmest day as well. What you see is what you're going to get here, just like it's been the past week here in Burlington. We're going to see a fairly high chance of below average temperatures for most of the eastern half of the United States, and here in the New England area especially, we're going to be looking at the chances of above average precipitation. Unfortunately, that means that is going to also be falling during our weekend. If you have any plans at all going out this weekend is pretty much going to be a total washout for you, unfortunately, as we end out April. As we get in towards the late portions of Friday, getting into Saturday morning, we're going to see some heavy rain chances moving into the Burlington area, and that is going to continue into Sunday. And also, even though we have some sun here on the 7-day forecast on Monday, where we think the sun might poke out later in the day, we're probably going to see that heavy rain extending into Monday morning as well. So just keep an eye out. Make sure that you have any storm drains cleared of any debris left from the winter or from last fall, because we may be seeing a couple of inches of rain here again in the Burlington with some really gusty, cold easterly winds with temperatures only in the mid-50s. After that storm clears out of here, however, it looks like we're going to keep the unsettled weather with the chance of showers each and every day. And it looks like we finally get to warm a little bit back towards normal as we get towards Thursday with temperatures again in the low 60s. So everyone, keep those umbrellas and raincoats handy. Have a great week and enjoy the weather.
Hey everyone, I'm Gretchen Carey, and this is your Community Calendar. On May 2nd, from 7 to 8 p.m., the Burlington Public Library will be having a presentation called Preserving Family Recipes with Valerie Frey. Pre-registration is required. To register and for more information, go to burlingtonpubliclibrary.org. On May 3rd at 9 a.m., Burlington Conservation member John Keeley will be leading a bird walk at the Mill Pond Reservoir. Meet conservation staff on the side road between 16 and 18 Town Line Road. There is no fee for this event. On May 4th, from 6 to 9 p.m., the Burlington Area Chamber of Commerce will be having the Spring Soiree at the Archer Hotel on 3rd Avenue. To reserve your spot at burlingtonchamberofcommerce.org. I'm Gretchen Carey, and that was your Community Calendar.
The BHS softball team is continuing its hot streak, standing at 9-0 overall. Let's turn to Aiden Hayes here with all the latest from BHS Sports.
Hey everyone, I'm Aiden Hayes, and this is your weekly sports report. The Red Devils teams are battling hard as the spring season is midway. The softball team continues to show dominance this year after getting another win over Wilmington 6-1 on April 24th. On April 26th, Arlington came to Marvin Field, where it came close as the Devils got the win 4-3. Congrats on Burlington being 10-0 this season. Burlington Unified Basketball Team is 1-0 and has a game at Woburn Memorial on April 27th. As of this taping, the game is still to be played. In other basketball news, senior Olivia Pena was named honorable mention on the Boston Herald list. Congrats, Olivia. The Red Devil track teams had another great performance against Wakefield on April 24th at Varsity Field. The Lady Devils won 78-58, and the boys won 97-39. The girls are now 2-1, while the boys are 3-0. Congrats on another win, Devs. You can check out the full results at bcat.org/sports. Boys volleyball competed at Woburn Memorial on April 25th, where they got the victory 3-1. This moves the team up to a 3-3 record. Keep it going, Burlington. Girls and boys lacrosse had matchups against the Stoneham Spartans on April 26th. The girls competed at the Marshall Simons Middle School, where they showed their dominance as they defeated the Spartans 16-1. Congrats, Devs. In Stoneham, the boys had a great game as well, as they came out on top 16-3. The girls are now 3-3, while the boys are 5-3 this season. Boys baseball had a huge win over Wilmington High School on April 24th. We go to the highlights.
4th, the Red Devil baseball team took on the Wilmington Wildcats at the Francis Wyman baseball field. Wilmington couldn't get on the board in the top of the first. Burlington got off to a hot start as they scored 5 runs in the bottom of the first, 5-1. Wilmington got on the board in the top of the second, 5-1 is the score. The Devils scored an additional 2 runs in the bottom of the second with a double into center field, 6-1. The Devils drove in another run with a base hit, 7-1. Wilmington scored 1 run in the top of the 4th to make it 7-2. In the top of the 5th, Wilmington made a comeback with an additional 4 runs, making the score 7-6. The score stayed the same until the bottom 5th, where Burlington scored 2 runs, 9-6. Burlington added 6 runs in the bottom of the 6th to make the final score of 15-6. Burlington gets their 4th win of the season, improving to 4-4 on the year.
Burlington is now 5-4 after a 13-7 win over Arlington on April 26th. Girls tennis returned to the courts for a matchup at Wilmington High School and got a 4-1 win. Burlington moves to 4-3 this season. Boys tennis returned to the court at Dobbins Tennis Courts in Wakefield on April 24th and secured a 4-1 victory. The Devils also defeated Wilmington on April 26th with a 4-1 victory and are now 5-3 this season. For more Red Devil action, go to bcattv.org/sports and check out our Twitter page at BNEWS Sports. That's all for now. I'm Aiden Hayes. Back to you guys in the studio.
As always, we like to share a photo of the week from someone in the community. This week's photo comes from Steve Moran, and you may have guessed it's not from Burlington this week. Burlington High School Latin students visited Italy during spring break, and Steve met up with them there. This picture is from Piazza Venezia in Rome. We'd love to share your photos, send your sunrises, sunsets, and anything else you're interested in to bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. That's it from the news desk here at BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with producers Sydney Bowles, John Vias, Robert Paris, Gretchen Carey, Aiden Hayes, Marge Yetman, and me. Thank you for joining us. But we're going to leave you with a lot going on at the library, including Patron Day, and the book sale is this week. So Christina Nikitas has some photos from that event last week. Thank you for joining us.